Hello and welcome to ONCA 101, Members' Resolutions for Ontario Nonprofits. My name is Benjamin Miller and I'm a lawyer who serves nonprofits and charities, and I'm of counsel with B.I.G Charity Law Group. In this video, I'll take you through some of the rules under Ontario's Not-for-Profit Corporations Act dealing with the power of members to propose resolutions to be discussed at members' meetings. We'll discuss what those rights are, how members can actually make the proposals, and when the board can deny a member's proposal or resolution. Before beginning, I'll just say that the following presentation is general legal information, not legal advice tailored to your situation specifically. So if you're looking for advice, feel free to reach out to a competent legal advisor. My contact information is at the end of this presentation, and you can also visit charitylawgroup.ca. So to begin, do members actually have the right to make and discuss proposals? The answer is yes. Voting members, so these are members with the power to vote at your annual general meeting, they have the right to make proposals ahead of members' meetings and to discuss any matter at the meeting that would have been a valid proposal. So that is also called making motions from the floor. So even though it wasn't on the agenda, they have the power to discuss those proposals. So let's say a member wants to make a proposal ahead of time. How do they actually go about doing this? Well, a voting member can submit any proposal by sending it at least 60 days in advance of the meeting that they want the proposal to be included in. They can include up to 500-word description of what it is they want discussed, and this 500-word description, if the proposal is otherwise valid, would then be included in the notice of the meeting. The member is also required to pay the costs, if any, for circulating their proposal. So let's say your notice is 1 page, and then including this proposal adds a page of printing, and you circulate a paper version of your notice, then and let's say it increases the cost of postage, though it's kind of thought it might be a very heavy paper, but whatever, it increases your cost somehow, then it's up to the member to pay that additional cost unless your bylaws say that the nonprofit will cover the cost. Additionally, the members can vote at the meeting, and they can pass a resolution basically saying, you know what, your proposal was so good, the nonprofit should cover the cost of circulating the proposal. But if none of those things happen, the member has to pay the bill. Now, there are some circumstances under which the board can refuse to circulate the proposal, to not include it as part of the agenda of the meeting. And these are those specific situations. The board does not have to include the proposal on the agenda if it was submitted less than 60 days before the meeting. The topic of the proposal is clearly a personal grievance, and specifically a personal grievance against somebody else in the organization. So a director, an officer, or a lender to the organization. Also, the board can reject the proposal if it clearly does not significantly relate to the nonprofit's business. Now, in the Act, Ontario Not-for-Profit Corporations Act, it uses the word clearly, meaning if it's a question, really the board should err on the side of including it. It's only really if it clearly doesn't relate to the nonprofit, then the board can go ahead and reject it. But in general, ONCA favors the power of members to make and discuss proposals. A few other situations in which a board can reject a member proposal. One, if the member made a proposal within the last 2 years, then failed to show up. So this is kind of a boy cried wolf situation. You don't have to keep giving them chances. And two, if the same proposal, it might have been made by a different member, but if substantially the same proposal was made within the last 2 years and it was rejected, you don't need to then discuss substantially the same proposal again. So that was a general overview of the rules under Ontario Not-for-Profit Corporations Act dealing with member proposals. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at benjamin.miller@charitylawgroup.ca or just visit charitylawgroup.ca, and I'm sure someone would be happy to take your question. Thanks so much for listening.